Is what SHARELORD was all about. So in my case, basically now what I do is this. As I said, I travel around the world presenting this strategy and also running the mentoring team. I also spend quality time with my family, and that's what's important to me. So in my life, and let me just explain to you what's happened in my life of late. I actually lost my mother on the 2nd of January this year to pancreatic cancer. So what you need to understand is 95% of people will react to a situation, 5% will respond to a situation. Now, money doesn't make me happy, but it gives me choice. Now, I was faced with the fact my mother had pancreatic cancer in August of last year. I could have reacted and kicked and screamed and fallen on the floor and said, why is this happening to us and my family, and blamed everybody else. But in fact, I didn't do that. I said, right, this is what I'm dealt with, this is what I've got in my life right now. How do I address it and how do I react to it? And I did. I did whatever I could with my family to be able to give her the quality of life until she passed away, which she did on the 2nd of January. Following that, 4 days later, a very good family friend of ours, my mum's best friend, actually passed away. So we had 2 deaths in our family, followed by a 3rd death in January. And then on the 7th of February this year, my wife gave birth to a premature baby. So these are the events that I face in life. Now, many people, again, would react to this situation and kick and scream and go, why is this happening to me? But I've just dealt with that, and I thought, well, this is what I'm dealing with. I've just got to move on. And this is basically where I am right now. So in life doesn't always give you all the right things. You just got to learn how to deal with them and move on with them.
Well, and when it comes to SHARELORD and this particular strategy, tell us a little bit about what it feels like to know that month after month you are not risking in the classic sense of the word, but rather through minimal risk generating an ongoing return that enables you to A, spend the time with your mother, give her the kind of lifestyle that she wants, spend the time with your children, spend the time with your family, travel all over the world doing what you want to do. What does that feel like? I mean, what's that like to know that you have that secure income pillar that is just generating month after month after month?
Look, the feeling inside is very emotional for me because, again, looking back at the way my parents, the way they were working and the way they were brought up and the way they tried to raise us up to be able to provide and be there for the family, for me, being able to spend time with my kids and my wife and be there is just phenomenal. And that's the quality of life I want. It's not about how much money I have in my bank account. It's about having that quality of life with my family and the time to spend with my kids and watch them grow up and raise them as well. Now, I basically do this strategy from home. I do the mentoring and run the team from home. I don't need to be anywhere in particular. The strategy allows you to be anywhere in the world globally where you can do this. It's all done on the internet. There is no software, there is no programs for you to download. There's no computer system that you need to follow with you or carry with you. The benefits of this strategy is it's all done online and you can do it anywhere in the world. And that's really been the key thing for me to be able to go to the point where I am right now.
And I know that now you're also going to spend some time with us over the next few days helping us to understand exactly what it is that you're doing to mentor others in the same way that you were originally mentored by the gentleman who founded SHARELORD.
Absolutely. So Nick basically has trained me up and taught me everything that he knows, and what I'm doing now with the mentoring team is allowing us to then throw and give that experience out to the students and nurture them and hold them by the hand and allow them to grow and build them up and build a solid foundation for them so they can build a skyscraper with this. Now, what you need to understand with SHARELORD, let's just go back into SHARELORD, is this, Ridgely. Many people know that the stock market, there could be some risks involved. Now, what we do is we minimise that risk and look at the calculated risk, as you mentioned before in one of the questions. I'm going to talk about the property, just so you get a better understanding. Let me just go back to property, because we use this strategy along with property, and we do it hand in hand, because a lot of people understand the property market but switch off or get concerned when it comes to the stock market. The moment we talk about the stock market, people go, ooh. Again, I know someone that knows someone that's lost money on the stock market. But let me ask you a question. We go out and we buy a property and we purchase a property that we want to rent out, and we rent it out. We bought that property 3 years ago, and let's just use a figure of $500,000. Now, the tenant that's in that property is paying me $500 a week rent every week. Today, I go out and get a valuation 3 years later, and I got a valuation on that property, and that property has a paper value of $450,000. Do I have a physical loss on that property that I paid $500,000 for? Most people would say, yes, you have a physical loss. But the true answer is no, I don't. I have a paper loss. And unless I sell that property, I don't have a loss. So I've gone out 3 years ago and bought a house for $500,000. It's now worth $450,000. If my tenant that's paying me back then $500 a week is now paying me $500 a week, am I still earning the cash flow every week, irrespective of what the house is worth?
Absolutely, you
I am, aren't I?
Of course, yeah.
So unless I sell that property, I don't have a physical loss. Now, the value of the property today is at this price. So I go out and buy some shares, and the mentality of a lot of people is you go out and buy some shares, hope and pray that they go up, grab the piece of paper of the stock, put it in your bottom drawer, and eventually they'll go up, right?
Right.
And as we know in the stock markets, they do. They do have cycles, and we might be in a cycle where the market might be on a down coming back up. But irrespective of what people buy their stock for, if I can show you how to generate a consistent income every month, irrespective of market direction. Now, if you've gone out and you've bought a stock, and now let's look at a particular stock. You could look at Apple or Google or Microsoft or any of these great companies in America and on American stock market. If I bought them 12 months ago at a particular price and right now they're worth less, I don't have a physical loss. I have a paper loss, just like I have on my property, but I don't have a physical loss. But if I said to you, every month you can write a contract on those shares that you own to earn an income, irrespective of whether the market is up today, up or down next week or next month, how would you like an additional income into your account every month, irrespective of market direction?
Absolutely, I mean, that's the idea.
Because a lot of people have $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 sitting in their bank account. And as we know right now, what's a term deposit? What's a bank paying you per annum interest on that money?
2-3%.
Okay, let's look at 3% on a per annum basis. I mean, people are sitting there with $2,000, $3,000 in their bank accounts doing nothing. Now, a lot of people believe that you need a lot of money to invest in the stock market. You don't need money to invest. You need to invest to make money. So
right.
I say to my students, look, if I can get you into the market with as little as $2,000 and show you how to earn a consistent income on that $2,000, irrespective of what your capital is going to be tomorrow, the next day, next week, or next month, how would you like an additional income in your account every month, irrespective of market direction?
Of course. What a brilliant idea.
Is the tenant paying me a rental return every week on my property, irrespective of what it's worth?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my property is going to fluctuate as it does in the property market, as we've seen in the property market.
Absolutely.
And so is the stock market. So irrespective of what the stock price is of today, people are holding their shares, doing absolutely nothing right now. Meanwhile, I can show them, as of today, how to earn an income into their account on the parcel of shares that they own, irrespective of whether that parcel of shares is worth more than what they bought it for or less.
That's great, George. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot more from you. And Nick, in closing on this particular section, how does it make you feel that now not only have you been able to mentor some people who have changed their financial circumstance around, but now there's an army of people that are coming up being able to help experience?
I think it's a moral obligation of us, you know. If you take on a strategy, if you really embrace it, so you teach somebody else. If you're a parent, teach your kids. You know, from a spiritual sense, they're an absolute asset, but they're a liability, aren't they? In a financial sense, turn a liability into an asset. The language that was used to mask and cover it up was all hieroglyphics and really complicated to understand. You know, all I did was, I removed all the testosterone, all the hieroglyphics, and made it really easy to just really absorb and what have you.
That's right.
And
Yes,
for me,
keep it
we
simple,
have done
sweetheart,
this,
right.
and we've got some phenomenal results.
I actually have a 7-year-old student that I'm personally mentoring right now, who I'm actually also mentoring his father, and his father has set up his account for him, who's put his $15,000 that he has saved for his son into an account that's trading the US markets right now, generating consistent returns every month, irrespective of direction. And my oldest student is 81. Little Olive Wallace.
So 7 to 81 years old.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, George. That's absolutely
That's
great.
a great
Very
spectrum
much.
of the demographic, isn't it? It's like,
Good student, grasshopper, right?
Yeah, all you need to do is just make that decision that, hey, I want to change my life, I want to transform the circumstances, the financial circumstances, and I want to create my own economy. Create your own little stimulus package, and ShareLord is a stimulus package.
That's right.
Your personalised stimulus package.
Gentlemen, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.